Women are less likely than men to outrightly initiate sex with their partners, but to compensate they're very well versed in the art of giving up hints. Here are signs of body language a woman wants sex. Lips. Lips biting is not just an easy way to hint at impatience, to move on to romantic hump, but also an unconscious reaction to the presence of a sexual stimulus. Perhaps at this moment, a girl is struggling with her naughty thoughts and is afraid to say too much, so she tries to restrain her passionate confessions by biting her lips. She touches you intimately. She might not jump your bones every time she is horny, but women are usually a little touchy freely in a not so obvious way when they feel aroused. She might touch you more often than normal. She might even be more daring by reaching and stroking you in your inner thighs, neck, and so on. Her hips. You have to be really observant to notice this, but when a woman is in the mood for sex, there is an added sway to her hips. Men usually miss this, because they are so used to their partners that they do not even notice them anymore. But the oldest and most popular way women get the attention of men is in this sway of the hips. This almost always draws the attention of men. Sometimes she might not even know she is doing it, but her body will naturally move essentially when she is horny. So whenever you notice your woman walking back and forth in your view and her hips and ass are swinging right, do not scold her for blocking the TV. Grab her and give her the hot sex she craves. Starting game interest and sympathy for the opposite sex is red in the eyes. If a girl is sexually aroused and lasts for a man, her pupils dilate and her gaze continually stops at the objects of desire. She may be embarrassed and pretend to look in a different direction, but one way or another, the girl will glance at the man over and over again. Statistics show that approximately 1 in every 5 Americans has indulged in sex with a colleague at work. Approximately 1% of people worldwide identify as asexual, that is, having no strong sexual attraction to either sex. For many women, foreplay is essential to orgasm. Only 30% of women are able to reach orgasm through intercourse alone. Foreplay is not just about bodies. A person can create a more sensual experience by arranging a home or an apartment with sensual colors, flowers, candles, and music. In a survey of 40,000 men, 90% of the respondents said the thing they found the sexiest was when a woman takes sexual initiative. Almost 75% agree that a woman is most unattractive when she wears heavy makeup. A study in the Journal of Sex Research found that 100% of women and 95% of men polled consider touching as the number one way they know their partner wants to have sex. Sex toys are banned in some states, such as Alabama. Flirting is banned in San Antonio, Texas. Oral sex is banned in Indiana. And sleeping naked is illegal in Minnesota. The US has more laws regulating sexual behavior than all the European countries combined. Men who help with housework also tend to have more sex. According to the American Sociological Association, found that the most mind-blowing sex typically comes with being in love with your partner. While women typically require a more prolonged period of stimulation before an orgasm, often 20 minutes, some women can have an orgasm within 30 seconds of self-stimulation. By contrast, parts of Africa view oral sex to be highly unnatural, and many religions consider oral sex as sinful. Some cultures see oral sex as a natural part of sexual arousal and foreplay. Other cultures see it as horribly disgusting or morally wrong. Specifically, in much of the Western world, industrialized parts of Asia, and in islands of the South Pacific, oral sex is common. Icelanders are the most likely to use vibrators, 52%, during foreplay, followed by the British, 49%, and Norwegians, 35%. In many countries, people are increasingly using sex toys such as pornography and vibrators during foreplay. Most of the nerve endings that contribute to the female orgasm are on the surface of the vulva and do not require penetration whatsoever to be stimulated to orgasm. Women who do not suck their man's private parts, their voices are sweeter and fresher than those women who did. Approximately 70% of people in the US admit to fantasizing about group sex at some point in their life, and more than 50% of those people actually follow through. Throughout the United States, approximately 4% of the population self-identifies as gay, lesbian, or bisexual. Avocados are known as the fruit of the testicle tree and are believed to have aphrodisiac qualities, that is, arouses sexual instinct and desire and increases pleasure and performance. Formicophilia is the sexual interest of small insects or worms crawling over one's body. A sperm takes 1 hour to swim 7 inches. A teaspoon of semen contains 5 calories. Scientists are unsure why humans have pubic hair, but they theorize that the hair traps secretions that hold pheromones or sexual scents. Women who went to college are more likely to enjoy receiving and giving oral sex. The average man has 11 erections per day and 9 erections a night. The fear of having, seeing, or thinking about an erection is called athephalophobia. Married people are more likely to masturbate than people living alone. Men actually do get blue balls, which is technically called prostatic congestion. It is caused by trapped blood. A warm shower, aspirin, or an orgasm usually will relieve the itchiness. The penis stops growing when a man is in his early 20s. Penises are generally darker than the body from which they hang. A micropenis is a term used by researchers to refer to penis fewer than 2.8 inches in length when stretched. The condition affects only 0.6% of men, or 6 in 1,000 men. It is caused by inadequate testosterone at a late stage of fetal development. Some modern researchers claim that the penis thrusts inside a woman's vagina not to stimulate a woman, but to remove a competitor's sperm. This explains why the penis is shaped like a piston. It is straight and thick, topped with a smooth, acorn-shaped gland, so it can push, pull, suck, push, pull, suck. An estimated 30 million Americans struggle with erectile dysfunction. A woman who never gets sex always looks for a substitute for sex. Men who repeatedly lick the vagina every time during sex are considered very romantic, and they lick the woman's vagina so that the woman can get excited very soon and satisfy her with her sexual activity. The woman who cries while having sex. That woman's breasts are very soft and delicate, and men like to have sex with such a woman. While making a relation, if you make a relation by looking at the woman, then you can stop the semen from falling for a long time. Women like to suck the penis of men whose penis is very clean and hard. According to psychology, 19 to 23 years is the age in which more people. Women who do not cover their chest in front of a man are very sexy. According to psychology, pressing the breasts of women releases an oxytocin, which increases the excitement and sensuality of the woman. If a man makes a relationship with a woman with full passion and mind, then the woman feels as if she is taking a dip in a river of bliss. A woman's mind becomes fickle when she has sex with a man during the day. At the time of orgasm, the heart rate of both men and women reaches up to 140 per minute. It's more fun for boys to kiss with a girl leaning against the wall, because in such a situation, the girl can't back down after kissing hard. The woman who wears sari but ties the sari below her navel, her beauty increases up to 4 times. Men should have sex only when the woman vagina is excited for sex. In such a situation, both of them get satisfaction by having sex. Whenever woman wants to have a relationship, she definitely makes jokes or wrong gestures with that man. A woman opens her vagina and inserts the penis when her vagina is hot. According to psychology, sex acts like a medicine for good sleep. A woman will never tell you how many men she slept with. Those who have sex only 1 or 2 times a week, the chances of heart disease are reduced by 30%. When a man has sex with a woman with all his heart, then there's a lot of strength in his penis. 65% of the world's women and 90% of men masturbate from time to time. Sex is one of the most intimate things you can only do with someone you love or are married to. According to psychology, having sex reduces headaches. That's why some people have sex to get rid of their headache. Having sex with a man during the day keeps a woman's mind fickle. Those men and women who are very close friends of each other, if they ever have sex, then their sex is very romantic from the first day itself. Female breasts become more soft and loose while having sex with a man. If men and women eat chocolate before having sex, it increases excitement and sex becomes even more exciting. A woman can only be satisfied by a man who has a lot of power in his penis. Research has now revealed that men breastfeed to seduce their partner during sex and foreplay. A girl never needs a man who can't satisfy her sexual desire. When a man has sex, his mind is just like the mind of a drunkard. By the age of 45, a normal woman has sex 3,000 times. Every position, from missionary to reverse cowgirl, has its benefits. However, it's a doggy style that continues to smash the charts and has even previously been voted as the UK's favourite sexual position. And as if being in the best position to hit the G-spot isn't reason enough for you to dig the doggy style. Here are 2 more reasons why doggy style is the best sexual position. There is a bit more about that: the G-spot. Your partner's penis is naturally tilted slightly downwards, and in the doggy style, it rubs up against the G-spot as a result. So, more fun. You're more in control than you think, and there are plenty of fun variations and nifty tricks to give you control over the depth of penetration, including lowering yourself onto your elbows to increase it or reducing the arch in your back to decrease it. Be careful when you hear something about a woman. Rumors always come from a man who can't have her. Most people who understand sarcasm are good at reading the minds of others. Women who read novels have 74% more sex with their loved ones than those who dislike the genre. The semen contains dopamine, which promotes the development of dings and love. 80% of women have a left breast larger than the right. 35% of people who are looking for dating for sexual relations on the internet are married. According to psychologists, during sex, you can burn up to 600 calories or more, depending on the session intensity. Women like to be kissed on the neck, since more than 76% of them rated the neck area as intensely erotic. A study revealed that women over 30 preferred to experiment with sex from the doggy position. Women can experience an orgasm in their dream just like men. Red-headed women have more odds of having sex more often. If a woman really likes a man, she will casually try to sit closer to him than the others. According to surveys, 80% of women get hot when men suck their fingers. 92% of single parents would rather date other single parents. Women who were direct, honest, and affectionate mostly stay alone. A study confirmed that 90% of the time you miss someone, you just miss being happy. The sole purpose of the clitoris is to bring pleasure to women. It has no other functional value for the feminine. According to psychologists, you cannot find happiness until you stop looking for it. This means that you should take advantage of where you are. It has been scientifically proven that people in love eat a lot more sweet, and especially chocolate. You are more likely to fall in love with someone out of your reach. We tend to want what we can't have, then once we have it, we don't want it anymore. According to polls, Australian men are more likely to have sex on the first date. 8 out of 10 people think that the first kiss speaks of what the relationship will be like. According to surveys, most often partners cheat with the best friend or girlfriend of a loved one. Women prefer to communicate with the opposite sex at a close range. On average, a person spends about 25 days or 600 hours on sexual intercourse. Girls most often pay attention to guys who have life goals and ambitions, and also on those who are taller than them. When kissing, 65% of people tilt their head to the right. Research published by the Sexual magazine assures that 7 minutes is enough time to have a satisfying sexual relationship. When you like a person, you tend to imitate and talk like him or her, trying to be more compatible with that person. You are not really afraid to love. You're afraid that they don't love you the same way that you love them. Never show anyone your weaknesses. Sooner or later, they will use them against you. Women who have an orgasm usually need about 15 minutes. Unlike men, who only need 3 to 5 minutes. Sex is 10 times more effective than Valium. One orgasm a day may decrease a man's risk of prostate cancer. It's a good idea to keep your own condoms, because you don't know how long your partner's been holding on to his. Condoms kept in wallets for over a month are more likely to break. Men who have sex at least twice a week can almost have their risk of heart disease, according to a 2010 study. A study found that good sex triggers the region of the brain associated with falling in love. Most of the nerve endings that contribute to the female orgasm are on the surface of the vulva and do not require penetration whatsoever to be stimulated to orgasm. In many countries, people are increasingly using sex toys such as pornography and vibrators during foreplay. Icelanders are the most likely to use vibrators, 52%, during foreplay, followed by the British, 49%, and Norwegians, 35%. Some cultures see oral sex as a natural part of sexual arousal and foreplay. Other cultures see it as horribly disgusting or morally wrong. Specifically, in much of the Western world, industrialized parts of Asia, and in islands of the South Pacific, oral sex is common. By contrast, parts of Africa view oral sex to be highly unnatural, and many religions consider oral sex as sinful. While women typically require a more prolonged period of stimulation before an orgasm, often 20 minutes, some women can have an orgasm within 30 seconds of self-stimulation. About 75% of men always reach orgasm during sex. Nipples are erogenous zones, because the sensation of hardened nipples travels to the same part of the brain as sensations from the vagina, cervix, and the clitoris. New moms are ready to have sex sooner than the 6-week wait period instructed by their doctor. Women with higher testosterone levels might be more interested in masturbation than in having sex with someone else. Festival-goers would rather spend time doing drugs, drinking, and having sex than watching the concert they paid big money to see. Some sexual dysfunction can stem from how a woman feels about the appearance of her genitals. Love your body. All of it. According to the American Sociological Association, found that the most mind-blowing sex typically comes with being in love with your partner. Men who help with housework also tend to have more sex. The US has more laws regulating sexual behavior than all the European countries combined. Sex toys are banned in some states, such as Alabama. Flirting is banned in San Antonio, Texas. Oral sex is banned in Indiana. And sleeping naked is illegal in Minnesota. According to a survey of adults aged 20 to 59, women have an average of 4 sex partners during their lifetimes, and men have an average of 7. A study estimates that 15% of women have experienced an orgasm during exercise. According to a 2008 survey of sex therapists, sex is too short when it lasts 1 to 2 minutes, Adequate is 3 to 7 minutes and desirable is 7 to 13. If you're still going at 30 minutes, most people will think it's too long. It's possible for women to achieve orgasm from breast stimulation alone. 37% of women reported regularly using a vibrator with their sexual partner during intercourse. In a survey of 40,000 men, 90% of the respondents said the thing they found the sexiest was when a woman takes sexual initiative. Almost 75% agreed that a woman is most unattractive when she wears heavy makeup. Foreplay is not just about bodies. A person can create a more sensual experience by arranging a home or an apartment with sensual colors, flowers, candles, and music. For many women, foreplay is essential to orgasm. Only 30% of women are able to reach orgasm through intercourse alone. According to Men's Health, foreplay is to sex what stretching is to a workout, easy to skip, but essential for great results. One man reported 6 successive orgasms, with decreasing volume of semen in less than 40 minutes. Orgasms have been reported by stimulation after male-to-female or female-to-male transsexual surgery. To prolong sexual activity, a man can engage in a sensual massage using butter. When a woman's vagina is in an aroused state, she engages in the act of inserting the penis. In line with psychological research, engaging in sexual activity can function as a remedy to promote sound sleep. A woman will always keep the number of men she has been with a secret. People who engage in sexual activity just once or twice a week experience a 30% reduction in their risk of developing heart disease. Psychological research suggests that, initially during sexual intercourse, women prefer their partner use a gentle approach with a soft penis. According to psychology, if sounds are audible from a woman's genitals during sexual intercourse, it typically indicates her satisfaction. Individuals who openly discuss their sexual experiences tend to experience greater satisfaction in their sex lives. A study revealed that there is a 35% higher rate of single status among boys compared to girls. According to psychological research, men tend to experience sexual attraction when they encounter a young woman who possesses well-endowed breasts. Based on psychological research, individuals who are married are statistically more prone to engage in masturbation than those who are not married. Psychological studies suggest that young women tend to exhibit increased vocalization during their initial sexual experiences. According to psychological research, the release of oxytocin that occurs when a woman hugs someone is also triggered when her breasts are gently squeezed. Based on psychological research, it has been found that women blink approximately twice as frequently as men do. Psychology suggests that men who prioritize drugs in their lives are unlikely to bring happiness to their wives, as such individuals may struggle to fulfill their spouse's needs. Dear friends, are you aware that when a woman consumes alcohol while pregnant, it can lead to various health issues for her baby? In accordance with psychological principles, when someone of either gender begins to mimic your behavior, it is highly likely that they have a romantic interest in you. Psychologically speaking, engaging in oral stimulation, both giving and receiving, as part of sexual activity, is believed to have potential benefits for reducing anxiety and stress. Based on a study, love marriages have a success rate of only 25%, while 75% of them result in divorce. Psychology suggests that women who are not in good physical health, such as those who may be frail or underweight, may face challenges in satisfying their husbands during sexual intimacy. Psychology suggests that women may experience less pleasure during sexual intercourse, while men may derive greater satisfaction from performing oral sex on a woman. Psychologically speaking, it's recognized that both genders have the capacity to engage in oral stimulation of their partner's genitalia, where a woman can perform oral sex on a man, and conversely, a man can perform oral sex on a woman. Psychological studies suggest that when a woman receives oral stimulation on her genitals, it often leads to a significant increase in pleasure and can help alleviate stress, ultimately contributing to her overall happiness. Psychology suggests that women are generally attracted to men who engage in prolonged and satisfying intercourse. However, women tend to disapprove of men who ejaculate quickly during intercourse. Therefore, if a woman deeply cares for a man, she should recognize that her satisfaction in intercourse contributes to her overall enjoyment. Psychology suggests that individuals who exhibit greater levels of romance within their relationships tend to have an enhanced capacity for mutual understanding. According to psychological research, engaging in oral intimacy with your spouse or partner can enhance the excitement and satisfaction of your sexual experiences. According to psychology, it is also observed that the nasal passages experience swelling during sexual activity. Psychology fact about human behavior. Showing a girl that you are happy to have her by your side will make her love you more. She will fall head over heels for you if you hold her hands in public and show her affection while there are other gorgeous girls around. If a girl loves you, she will really appreciate you more if you listen to her advice and actually use it. She will feel like an important part of your life. If a girl loves you and you don't love her back, she will feel drained physically and emotionally because she is the one investing more in the relationship and not feeling loved in return. Girls adore hearing compliments about their lips and smiles, so even if she turns her head away during the compliment, she is silently enjoying it. If a girl finds you attractive or is in love with you, she will speak in a high-pitched voice, while men on the other hand tend to lower their voices when they find the opposite gender attractive. Girls look for guys that are confident. This is because girls are usually the ones that are vulnerable, therefore they need a guy who will build up their confidence. If she has to build up your confidence, she will not trust you when it comes to protecting her. Girls adore independent, powerful, and self-sufficient guys who can support them. She will love you and think the world of you if you sometimes lavish her with presents within reason. If you find that your girl is suddenly silent and has gone cold in the relationship, it's time for you to move on because it means that the fire has gone out. Girls in love will always want to have a conversation. They will always show interest in anything you have to say. They will hug, kiss, cuddle, and throw jokes your way if they truly love you. If a girl in love with you tells you that she was talking about you to her friends, but won't give you details, know that it was something really good. Some girls fancy looks while others care about brains, but know that all girls care about someone who will love and care for them unconditionally. According to psychology, when two individuals are in love, they usually take an interest in each other's activities. A woman would love you more if you show an interest in her likes and dislikes. She will feel cherished with a quick text or call during the day. Girls enjoy receiving attention, so pay attention to her frequently if you want her to develop a deeper affection for you. An ex-boyfriend or ex-lover will usually always be on a girl's mind, while the former will always be the latter. Be the better option than her ex-lover if you want a girl's heart. If a girl loves a boy and he stares her deep in the eyes, it will make her knees weak. Girls love to have fun and laugh as often as possible, therefore they are attracted to boys that are honest and have a strong sense of humor. Younger girls tend to be far less mature than women and typically lack the ability to regulate their emotions. If a girl says, "I miss you," you better believe it because she's probably high on a love drug. Regularly telling a girl you love her will boost her confidence and make her feel lovely. You can win her heart by making her feel cherished. Girls love to be flattered. When a woman desires a man deeply, she will let him show her his bold and assertive personality, unlike if a stranger went up to her unprompted, which tend to creep the woman out if she doesn't find him attractive at all. It's time to move on if a girl is constantly making excuses for why she can't hang out with you or watch a movie with you because she is no longer interested in you or the relationship. Women feel more at ease with men who make an effort to get to know them before making romantic advances. Since girls are constantly self-conscious, they are more inclined to fall in love with someone who makes them feel at ease. Psychology fact about human behavior. 1 out of every 6 people has had hepatitis, urethritis, PID, or syphilis, and these diseases are much more likely to be transmitted from person to person than HIV. New moms are ready to have sex sooner than the 6-week wait period instructed by their doctor. Research have shown that women with high testosterone levels are more interested in masturbation than in having sex with someone else. Avoiding eye contact, faking a smile or not smiling shows that woman is not interested in her date. Avoid negativity as it is the biggest turn-off during a date. Be happy and optimistic. Some studies show that people find it hard to walk away from happy people. The lips, hand, tongue, and sometimes neck other parts involved in oral sex. Some ladies, when it comes to oral sex, do forget they don't have to use their teeth, and that's a turn-off for most guys. Find out about your partner's fantasy. That mood where everything irritates you indicates that you're missing someone. Falling in love at first sight is apparently true according to psychologists. It takes only 2 to 4 minutes to fall for someone or to make a good impression on someone. Researchers have found that 99% of women who view their genitals positively have more oral sex with their partner and enjoy it more than others because it stimulates their vagina for multiple orgasms. Studies show that if people adjust their facial expressions to reflect an emotion, they begin to feel that emotion. When something bad happens, you have 3 choices. You can either let it define you, let it destroy you, or you can let it strengthen you. More than 70% of all apologies are meaningless. Gentlemen, ladies interpret love through conversations. In fact, they fall in love and stay in love because of companionship, which is evident in conversations. 90% of the time you agree with a person to shut them up. The more you use curse words in your conversations, the easier it is to show disrespect. It's not the song that makes you emotional, it's the people and things that come to your mind when you hear it. If you're emotional about something, your logical reasoning gets thrown out the window. People constantly compare themselves with others and feel satisfied if they are superior in some respect. How you greet your spouse in the morning or when your spouse comes home determines the quality of your conversation. A warm greet in ashes in a desire to talk. In perhaps the least surprising finding of all time, having sex is shown to enhance affection levels, which, in turn, increases the overall frequency of sexual activity. Sexual acts, when done right, help strengthen both physical and mental connections with a partner. More than half of people questioned in one survey said a stronger emotional bond was the biggest benefit of sex. If your sex drive is in a state of fluctuation, from 0 to 1 minute to 100 the next, don't panic. Simple approaches like diet tweaks and exercise could help even things back out. Women's sex drives are more likely to take a hit than those of their male counterparts. Sex drive plus increased years of life equals not a sexy combo. Add libido to the list of things that decline with age. Everyone's libido varies, so there's no normal you should be comparing yourself to in terms of how often you get busy. The average is 70% of men watch porn, compared to just 33% of women. Women also tend to tune in with their partner, while men are happy to view porn alone. 7-hour sex marathons may be the norm for Sting and Trudy, but most people say anywhere between 7 and 13 minutes is the desired optimum time for penetrative sex. A powerful sense of humor is correlated with a high sense of intelligence. No one delays long to be with humorous men. While data indicates that teenagers experience the majority of first times, people in their 20s experience first times an average of 80 times annually. By the time you reach retirement age, the average tends to falter 20 times. The world's largest recorded penis belongs to 41-year-old New Yorker, Jonah Falcon, whose appendage measures 9.5 inches flaccid and 13.5 inches erect. If you get dumped, or were a dumper, be careful. Being dumped could lead to frustration attraction. Frustration attraction only means that the individual who was dumped will love and lust the person who dumped them even more. Just as early morning sex has been proven to improve the day's activities. Sex before a stressful task may lower your level of stress. Cuddling after sex can increase satisfaction as it releases a feel-good hormone in both parties, making the act more relaxing. Sperm has been found to have a great benefit on the skin, so allowing your partner ejaculate on you is a win-win for both of you, as men feel a relaxing sensory after a good sex session. Perfect love is the combination of passion, commitment and intimacy based on the triangular theory of love. A study found that many men are aroused by the sounds, groans, screams that their partner makes while they strive to bring her to orgasm. "30% of women over the age of 80 still have sex with their spouses or boyfriends. This is found to be good as it reduces vaginal dryness. Male orgasm typically lasts seconds, while a pig's orgasm lasts for 30 minutes. This pig, Scrophor domesticus, holds the world's longest orgasms according to World's Guinness World Records. A research confirmed that men who have a good, active sex life are likely to live past the age of 80 years. According to a popular men's magazine, more percentage of women talk dirty and nasty during sex than men. The impulse sent during intercourse to activated ejaculation comes from the spinal cord, no brain is needed. The bigger the challenge, the stronger the drive. It is a proven fact that when you are faced with a bigger challenge, your drive to do it and do it better becomes stronger too. We are subconsciously more attracted to people who have the same taste in music as we do. Being a perfectionist in love can lead to stress and depression. Research shows that long-term couples with deep, strong connections can successfully soothe each other in stressful situations or when one of them experiences pain simply by holding hands. The left testicle usually hangs lower than the right for right-handed men. The opposite is true for lefties. When you see someone you're interested in, what feels like butterflies in your stomach is actually a stress response caused by adrenaline. Nearly 1 in 10 dreams contain some R-rated sexual content, and that's true for both men and women, according to a study published by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. Studies have shown that orgasms can make women more confident, productive, and creative. An apple a day can boost your sex life. People who sleep face down on their stomach with their arms stretched above their head have more sexual dreams. During orgasm, the woman releases the famous and precious hormone endorphin, known as the happiness hormone. It also helps to relieve physical and emotional stress. Wearing high heels can negatively affect a woman's orgasm. Spreadsheet, a relationship app created to help users monitor their performance. In the bedroom, ranked states by their staying power between the sheets. The states with most stamina: New Mexico, West Virginia, Idaho, South Carolina, and Missouri. Female ejaculation, or better known as squirting, is not a myth. Many women claim to have experienced this while masturbating, not with a man. Women can get pregnant 5 to 8 days after having sex. A sense of humor is the sexiest attribute. Researchers conducted the survey of over 7,000 and found that 51% of them said they could go longer without sex than they could go without coffee. There are some foods such as raspberry that can increase sexual desire. Clitoris grows throughout a woman's lifetime. Farting during sex happens. Sex is a great addition to your regular workout. The vagina averages 3 to 4 centimeters in length, but can expand by 200% when sexually aroused. The clitoris actually has a pretty similar anatomy to a penis, with glands, a foreskin, and a shaft. Great sex doesn't come naturally, it's a learned skill. One in 5 people use their smartphones during sex, At least adults between 18 and 34 years old do, according to a survey by Harris Interactive. A recent fertility survey in Denmark found that 55% of women are not having as much sex as they would really like. Sensation started in the clitoris can spread across the pelvic area, affecting about 15,000 other nerve endings. "80% of women will experience a condition that causes chronic painful sex." The surge of oxytocin that occurs during orgasm triggers a release of feel-good endorphins that act as powerful pain relievers. Orgasms can lower a woman's risk of heart disease, stroke, breast cancer, and depression. Research has shown that orgasms experienced during sex cause us to release 400 times more prolactin, which tends to make people feel sleepy and satiated, than from those from masturbation. Nearly 10% of all dreams include sex. Despite what men claim, only 15% have a penis longer than 7 inches. Only 3% have a penis more than 8 inches long. After menopause, the clitoris can be 2.5 times larger than when the same woman was a teenager. No wonder some women have stronger orgasms in their midlife and 5os. Being tied up increases a person's ability to reach orgasm. Some women like to be touched gently, while others like a lot more sexualization. Every woman's sexual preference is different. Women reach the peak of pleasure through stimulation rather than penetration. Women are more likely to cheat on their partners when they are ovulating. Your brain is less attentive during intercourse as the triggers of fear and anxiety is switched off during orgasm. Forget what you see in porn. Pounding, or fast, hard thrusting, doesn't turn most women on, and it can actually cause pain and injury. When it comes to pleasure, penis girth is more important than length. People in their 20s have sex more than 80 times per year, declining to 60 times per year by age 45, and 20 times per year by age 65. Americans in relationships reported having sex 16 fewer times per year from 2010 to 2014, compared to 2000 to 2004, according to a 2017 study. A big penis won't stretch out or ruin a vagina. Forget lingerie. If you want to increase your chance of having an orgasm, keep your socks on during sex, says research done by the University of Groningen. A headache may actually make you more in the mood. Migraine sufferers reported higher levels of sexual desire. 3% of people have no sexual fantasies at all. Women actually get erections in their genitals, and even though they're smaller than the male counterpart, they are just as important. Women actually get erections in their genitals, and even though they're smaller than the male counterpart, they are just as important. Nearly 1 in 10 dreams contain some R-rated sexual content, and that's true for both men and women, according to a study published by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. The truth is that no couple is perfectly matched, and libidos change over time and circumstance. The idea that sex must lead to orgasm can be a very damaging thought for people of all genders and sexualities, as it puts undue pressure on them and can cause anxiety. One in 6 women have never had an orgasm, which is about 15% of women. The most effective sex toy is your voice. It's perfectly okay to ask for what you desire. Everyone experiences sexual problems sometimes, and a trained sex therapist can help you identify the underlying issues and work them out. Although the withdrawal or pull-out method is better than totally unprotected sexual intercourse, it's not great at preventing pregnancy. When a woman's vagina literally falls out and hangs between the legs, this condition is called pelvic prolapse. According to Men's Health, foreplay is to sex what stretching is to a workout. Easy to skip, but essential for great results. Some cultures like France see oral sex as a natural part of sexual arousal and foreplay. A 2008 survey revealed that the French had the most sex at 137 times per year, well above the global average of 103. Shaving and waxing pubic hair has been linked to an advanced likeliness of constricting stress. 5 things you didn't know about your penis. One, use it or lose it. You need to have erections regularly to keep your penis in shape. It has to be essentially exercised, says Tobias Kohler, MD, assistant professor of urology at Southern Illinois University School of Medicine. To maintain a healthy tone, the smooth muscle of the penis must be periodically enriched with oxygen by the rush of blood that engorges the penis and makes it erect, Kohler says. If guys are physically able to get erect, but never have erections during the day, maybe they find themselves in very unerotic circumstances for a long time, they needn't worry. The brain has an automatic penis maintenance function built in. Impulses from the brain cause erections during the dreaming phase of sleep, called the REM phase. It doesn't matter if you're having a hot sex dream or a zombie apocalypse nightmare, your penis gets hard during that period of the sleep cycle. But some men are physically unable to get erections, such as those who've suffered trauma to the nerves involved or who have nerve or blood vessel damage caused by diabetes. If they don't do anything to maintain normal erections, they will get shortening of the penis, Kohler says. Without regular erections, penile tissue can become less elastic and shrink, making the penis 1 to 2 centimeters shorter. A device like a vacuum pump, which forces the penis to swell with blood, can help men with physical erection problems maintain a healthy penis, Kohler says. 2. Your penis may be a grower or a shower. Among men, there is no consistent relationship between the size of the flaccid penis and its full erect length. In one study of 80 men, researchers found that increases from flaccid to erect lengths ranged widely, from less than 1/4 inch to 3.5 inches longer. Whatever the clinical significance of these data may be, the locker room significance is considerable. You can't assume that a dude with a big, limp penis gets much bigger with an erection. And the guy whose penis looks tiny might get a surprisingly big erection. An analysis of more than 1,000 measurements taken by sex researcher Alfred Kinsey shows that shorter flaccid penises tend to gain about twice as much length as longer flaccid penises. A penis that doesn't gain much length with an erection has become known as a shower, and a penis that gains a lot is said to be a grower. These are not medical terms, and there aren't scientifically established thresholds for what's a shower or a grower. Kinsey's data suggest that most penises aren't extreme showers or growers. About 12% of penises gained 1/3 or less of their total length with an erection, and about 7% doubled in length when erect. 3. The pleasure zone. Many men consider the underside of the glans, head, of the penis, and the underside of the shaft to be most sensitive to sexual pleasure. Researchers asked 81 healthy men to rate the erotic sensitivity of different areas of their bodies, including not only the penis, but also zones such as the scrotum, anus, nipples, and neck. The underside of the glans and underside of the shaft had the highest sensitivity rating for a significant majority of men, followed by the upper side of the glans, left and right sides of the glans, sides of the penis, upper side of the shaft, and foreskin, for the minority of men who were uncircumcised. The study findings were reported in the British Journal of Urology International in 2009. 4. Sensitivity declines with age. Studies show that the penis steadily loses sensitivity as men age, though it's hard to say exactly by how much. That's because different researchers have used different ways to stimulate the penis and measure sensitivity. In general, the sensitivity of the penis is gauged by the least amount of stimulation a man is able to feel. That is called the sensory threshold. Despite differences between studies, the data show a clear trend when taken together. From age 25 on, sensitivity starts to decline. The sharpest decline in sensitivity is seen between age 65 and 75. What's less clear is whether men really notice a loss of sensitivity as they age. Kohler says that if they are aware of it, his patients seldom mention it. It is a super rare complaint, he says. On the other hand, difficulty with erections and difficulty achieving ejaculation are much more common. 5. Vibrators work on the penis too. Vibrators aren't only for women. They work on the penis, too. In fact, vibration is so effective on the penis that often men with spinal cord injuries can ejaculate with the aid of a special medical vibrator. For this kind of treatment, the vibrator is usually held against the underside of the head of the penis. Most men don't need a medical vibrator to trigger an orgasm. Kohler says when patients see him about delayed ejaculation, difficulty reaching orgasm, he suggests they try a store-bought vibrating personal massager. Although vibrators often help men with ejaculation problems, you don't have to have any kind of medical condition to use one. You could do it just for fun. In 1954, a man ejaculated 15 milliliter of fluid. The average amount a man releases is 3.2 milliliter. A 40-year-old man holds the record for the most ejaculations/orgasms without losing an erection. He had 6 orgasms with full ejaculations, all within 36 minutes. He was alone in a room looking at porn videos and magazines while he filled 6 of the 8 cups he was given. He said he has no special technique, he was just born with the talent. The man who holds the record for the farthest ejaculation is Horst Schultz, who ejaculated 18.7 feet or 5.71 meters. An unnamed female holds the record for a female ejaculation at 9.8 feet or 3 meters. A man has an average of 11 erections per day. He has around 9 erections at night. For some men who are physically unable to have an erection, due to nerve trauma or blood vessel damage, they can use a device like a vacuum pump that causes the penis to swell with blood. To maintain a healthy tone, the penis needs to have erections regularly. Without regular erections, penile tissue can become less elastic and shrink, up to 1 to 2 centimeters. Having sex at least once a week can lower a man's risk of heart disease by 30%, stroke by 50% and diabetes by 40%. According to Men's Health, men report masturbating around 12 times per month. The man with the record for the most ejaculations in one day is Azale, a porn actor. He had 11 ejaculations during a 24-hour period while recording a test tape for a later video he planned to make. Most sex toy injuries that result in an ER trip are minor. However, some sex toy injuries have resulted in such things as erectile dysfunction, penile skin loss, and urethrocutaneous fistula. This is, a permanent hole in the penis, or penile amputation. About 90% of women prefer a wide penis to a long one. 85% of women are satisfied with the penis size of their partners, although only 55% of guys like their size. The US ranks 18th in terms of average erect human male penis length, at 5.1 inches. North and South Korea rank last at 3.8 inches, while the Republic of Congo is first at 7.1 inches. There are 2.5 million new HIV infections a year. Worldwide, only 5% of men wear condoms during sex. A condition called choro or penis panic is a type of mass hysteria in which men believe their penises are vanishing. It's more common in Africa and the Far East. There are at least 42 kinds of bacteria living on the skin of the penis. However, circumcised penises have fewer bacteria. In fact, circumcision has been linked to lower risk of getting HIV and other diseases. According to a 2020 review of research, the average length of an erect penis is between 5.1 and 5.5 inches, with the average likely closer to the lower end of that range. The average length of a flaccid penis is 3.61 inches. The average circumference of an erect penis is 4.59 inches, while the average circumference of a flaccid penis is 3.67 inches. During World War I, members of the British Secret Intelligence Service, MI6, discovered you could use semen as invisible ink. They stopped using it after they realized how badly it smelled when it got old. In ancient Greece, the common slang for oral sex was playing the flute. The earliest known illustration of a man using a condom during sexual intercourse is painted on the wall of a cave in France. It is dated between 12,000 and 15,000 years old. Researchers have repeatedly observed female penguins exchanging sexual favors with male penguins that aren't their mates in exchange for pebbles they will use to build nests for their babies. Yep, female penguins engage in a bizarre form of prostitution. Chocolate contains phenylethylamine, the same feel-good chemical responsible for the ecstatic high people experience in sexual attraction and love. In the Aztec culture, avocados were considered so sexually powerful that virgins were restricted from contact with them. The Earth could be repopulated to its current level using the amount of sperm that could fit in an aspirin capsule. A chicken egg could accommodate the number of female ova necessary to repopulate the Earth to its present population. The vibrator, a common sex toy for women, was originally designed in the 19th century to fight the anxiety-related symptoms of hysteria. There was even a play about it, In the Next Room, also known as the vibrator play, performed in 2009. A teaspoon of semen contains approximately 5 calories. Half an hour of intense sex burns off an average of 100 to 200 calories. Marilyn Monroe, the most celebrated sex icon of the 20th century, confessed to a friend that despite her 3 husbands and a parade of lovers, she had never had an orgasm. For both men and women, the heart rate averages 140 beats per minute at orgasm. That's considered a tachycardia. When a man ejaculates, the initial spurt travels at 28 miles an hour, faster than the world record for the 100-meter sprint, which currently stands at 27.49 miles an hour. During an average man's lifetime, he will ejaculate approximately 17 liters of semen, which amounts to about 500 billion sperm. Greek couples have sex an average of 138 times a year, placing them at the top of the World Sex League. Japanese couples have sex just 45 times a year, which puts them in last place. Studies have found that if you're getting value from this video and hit the like button, you tend to last longer in bed, and if you hit the subscribe button, you'll have more satisfying orgasms. Studies have shown that 85% of men who die of heart attacks during intercourse were cheating on their wives. Guilty consciences suppose. Despite many people using it as a common excuse to avoid sex, sex can actually relieve a headache since it releases the tension, which restricts blood vessels in the brain. It takes 2 tablespoons of blood to get the average penis erect. Besides humans, bonobos, a type of chimp, and dolphins are the only animals that have sex for pleasure. While giving birth, some women have been known to experience orgasm. -321 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature at which sperm banks store donor semen. At this temperature, semen can be stored indefinitely. During sexual intercourse, in addition to the genitals and breasts, the inner nose also swells. The average female orgasm lasts 20 seconds, 14 seconds longer than the male orgasm. Researchers at Rutgers University used MRI imaging to find out exactly what happens in your brain when you're aroused. What they found is that different regions of the brain become activated in response to stimulation of the vagina, cervix, clitoris, and nipples. According to the State University of New York study, semen can help fight depression. Semen contains chemicals that elevate mood, increase affection, and induce sleep. It also contains cortisol, which is known to increase feelings of affection in the brain. Studies have shown that orgasms can make women more confident, productive, and creative. Wearing high heels can negatively affect a woman's orgasm. Women can get pregnant 5 to 8 days after having sex. Clitoris grows throughout a woman's lifetime. The clitoris actually has a pretty similar anatomy to a penis, with glands, a foreskin, and a shaft. Sensation started in the clitoris can spread across the pelvic area, affecting about 15,000 other nerve endings. Birth control pills dampen the libido. The clitoris doesn't play a direct role in human reproduction, it's just there to make us feel good. The pulsations a woman feels during orgasm are actually her uterus trying to gather sperm. A clitoris is the only part of the human body that never ages. If you're struggling to reach orgasm, using lube might help. The impulse to ejaculate comes from the spinal cord, no brain is needed. It has been shown that when you reach orgasm, the area behind your left eye, known as the lateral orbitofrontal cortex, shuts down. The average male orgasm lasts 6 seconds, the average female orgasm lasts 20 seconds. The average woman needs 20 minutes of stimulation to reach climax, whereas men typically require between 2 to 10 minutes. The left testicle usually hangs lower than the right for right-handed men. The opposite is true for lefties. But, according to research published in the Journal of Sexual Research, women's ability to orgasm increased by 30% after taking part in a mindfulness program. After fingers and vibrators, candles are the phallic objects used most often by female masturbators. Some women love the feeling of rhythmic pressure on their cervix and may depend upon that sensation to reach orgasm. The most common cause of penile rupture is vigorous masturbation. It's generally accepted that roughly a third of women are unable to have orgasm through any means. When two people kiss, they exchange between 10 million and 1 billion bacteria. When the uterus contracts during orgasm, it can help use up cramp-causing prostaglandins, flush out excess blood, and even clear out some of the lining and debris that could flow backward. Despite what men claim, only 15% have a penis longer than 7 inches. Only 3% have a penis more than 8 inches long. The surge of oxytocin that occurs during orgasm triggers a release of feel-good endorphins that act as powerful pain relievers. Orgasms can lower a woman's risk of heart disease, stroke, breast cancer, and depression. Research has shown that orgasms experienced during sex cause us to release 400 times more prolactin, which tends to make people feel sleepy and satiated, than from those from masturbation. The world's largest recorded penis belongs to 41-year-old New Yorker Jonah Falcon, whose appendage measures 9.5 inches flaccid and 13.5 inches erect. Nearly 10% of all dreams include sex. Research shows that women have more, not to mention more fulfilling orgasms as they get older, says Debbie Herbenick, a research scientist at Indiana University.